Hi, everybody. It's Teeteerad. It is Saturday night in New Jersey. It's about 11 p.m. Eastern Time. Dear God, you know how easily I fall into worrying. Teach me to catch my worries before they run away with me, and then give them to you. If my life is in your hands, then I have nothing to fear. Amen. So, we all worry. I I think I worry too much. I just think my nationality, of being Italian, um, I saw my grandmother worry about everything. Both my grandmothers, my mother, my aunt, all the women seem to really worry. Worry about this, worry about that. Do you have enough to eat? Do you need anything? You need any money? You need any this? You need any of that? That's all these women ever did was worry. I think cook, clean, and worry. And I grew up with that, so I think that actually, you know, had an effect on me. And I know I constantly, and especially when you have a child, and I have a son. I mean, he's not a child anymore, but I still worry. To me, it's just what we do, you know. Growing up Italian, Catholic Italian, um, I just think that it's not funny, but it's almost like I don't know if it's like a curse because I think that's all these women do, and I know I do that are Italians and Catholics. I know everybody worries. Everybody worries about their children, no matter what nationality you are. It's just normal to do that. But I do know that excessive worrying is something um, that can really stop your life. And I had a period in my life where all I did was constantly worry. And it was horrible, believe me. I would not wish that on anybody. I just was constantly worrying about everything. Because there was a time in my life when I was really, really down and out, and I would worry, can I put food on the table? Are these bills going to get paid? Things like that. It was all this financial stuff. Is my son going to be all right? Am I going to be okay? And that showed me that I was lacking something, which was trust and faith in the good Lord up above. God never ever gave me anything that I couldn't handle. But believe me, I see that now. But believe me, at the time when I was going through these things in my life, oh, I used to say, what am I gonna do? What am I gonna do? I was like running on empty. I just kept saying, I can't handle anymore. I can't handle anymore. Please. Enough is enough. How much more am I gonna have to, deal with? I had like this weight on my shoulder. It just wasn't going away. It was getting heavier. It wasn't getting lighter, let's say. It was getting heavier and heavier and heavier. And believe me, I was through some horrible things in my life. But the bottom line is that I did come out of it. And I don't worry as much as I used to, because it was to the point I would be worrying so much that I would be pacing the floors back and forth, not being able to sleep for, you know, days on end. And, so I got through it though. I got through it. I did come out the other side, and, you know, I would hit my knees and I would just cry to God, and I would just say, please just help me. Please just give me strength. Please help me get through this. I know there's a reason for everything. I know that you're not giving me more than I can handle, but sometimes it just feels like it's too much. But I will trust you. And it took me quite a while to, say those words and get that out and really mean it. Really, really, that's when I just said, I have to have faith. Because if I don't have faith, then I'm never going to get through these things. But anyway, I I will say for me, and I want to pass this on to you, is that worrying does not get you anywhere. All it does is steal precious time. Because when you worry, you stay up in your head, you cannot focus, you can't concentrate on things, you can't concentrate on living life. And I know a lot of people, well, I used to know a lot of people that I have helped, through the years, and that, the worrying just gave them so much anxiety. It was crippling. It does happen to people, anxiety and depression are a real thing. It's a real thing. And it's nothing to be ashamed of ever. It just isn't. So please, if you are suffering from anxiety or depression, please do not be ashamed. It happens to a lot of people. And you could be sitting next to somebody, say, let's say for an example, in a movie theater, right? And you have no idea what that person's going through. They could be laughing and smiling, they could be cracking jokes, and you know what? Inside, they're just dying. They're dying. It's amazing, and they say, like, heart disease is the silent could be a silent killer. Well, believe me, I feel depression and even anxiety can be a silent killer. So, you got to be careful and, not judge anybody until you really know, their story, what they could possibly, be suffering from. And, so that's why turning to God, turning to the Lord for me has really helped me. Putting these videos up, the spiritual things that I put up, it not only helps other people, which I've been told lately, and I'm so happy and so taken back that people really do like the things that I put up on YouTube. I never thought I would be doing something like this, but that's okay. It's not, I'm not perfect. I try the best that I can, and I'm not false in any way. I just am who I am. I am who I am. And I do what I feel in my heart. I say what I feel in my heart. I post what I feel in my heart. And I just, want to just let everybody know that I've been down that road of worry. And believe me, it doesn't work. It does not work. I used to say to myself, gee, TT, you look up the word worry in the dictionary and my picture's there. Oh my God, that's how much I used to worry. But, you know, we all have our character defects, if you want to call that one. Like excessive worry, it's not good, and sometimes, my mother, my mother used to say to me, Tina, you care too much, you care too much. And I used to say, Mom, I know, but I'm just like you. I'm just like you. And, so I don't want to change that about myself, but I did have to learn how to get that under control because I would always feel when somebody was hurting, I would feel their pain. And I don't know why, but that's what would happen to me. And yes, my name is Tina. My username is Teeteerad, but my name is Tina. And you know, I would say I would just feel these things. And my mother was like that. My grandmother was like that. It's like when I knew when something was wrong in the family. I could be, you know, 50 miles, 100, 200 miles away. And I would call my mother and I would say, "Is grandma okay?" Like I would feel things. So maybe that's why that's part of why I worry so much because I feel everything. And I'm pretty good at reading people, their faces to see if they're in pain or if they're happy, they're sad, their body language, things like that. I don't know why, but usually I would say 7 out of 10 times I am correct when somebody's hurting. And I kind of call them on it, and say, "Are you all right?" You know, um, but anyway, worry will not get you anywhere. Believe me. And I've learned for me, worrying is lack of faith. And I did have that for a while in my life. I did have lack of faith because I was just getting one thing after another, after another, after another, just like it wasn't stopping. But one thing, I never gave up. I never gave up. I had faith. I didn't have as much. I think when I was at my lowest point, I just didn't really have anything. But I always knew God was with me. I always knew Jesus was with me and the Blessed Mother. I always knew that. I always felt them around me. So that kept me going. That really did keep me going. And I learned a lot through that time in my life about myself. And I'm still learning, believe me. I'm 58 years old, but there's so many things that I have to look forward to yet. And there's so many more things I want to do. And the things I want to do, you know, uh, they don't cost a lot of money. If they cost money, it's very little. So I have to, continue that little bit of that bucket list. And I have to rewrite that bucket list. I have to start scratching things off. Like these little dreams and these little accomplishments, those little things, they may be little to some other people, but they're really big to me. And that will, when I accomplish something, it will fill my heart and I'll feel fulfilled, and that's very important in life. When you feel empty, that's one of the worst feelings. It's feeling empty, feeling lonely. Um, it's not good. It's not good. I mean, listen, some people do like to be alone, and I'm a homebody, and I don't mind being alone. I've been alone a lot throughout my life, and that's okay. But it also gave me time to reflect on things, and which is very important, I feel, for everybody to be able to do at some point in their life is really sit in the quiet and reflect on your life. And if there's any changes that need to be made, that's the time to think about it. It'll come to you. Sometimes you get, when you're in the quiet and you're in the peace, you get these moments of clarity. And it just seems like those weights are lifted off of you. I think that's like, maybe because you're getting closer to God when you're reflecting. It's quiet and you get closer to God. And I think it gives a chance for Jesus, God, to come into your life, into your heart, and then into your mind. And you have that faith and you kind of feel stronger, right? Which is good because then you feel like you can move forward. It's almost like, you get rejuvenated. Maybe that's a good way to say it. You know, you get rejuvenated and your mind clears up a little bit. You come out of that fog and then you start to really realize what is important in life. What is important? I will tell you, worrying is not, it's not important. It's good to prepare. Don't get me wrong. It's good to plan, a little bit for your future. But for me, I just have to live in the day. I have to live in the day. Um, my life is, some a little bit different than others, I guess, and so I have to, for me to, I have to live in the day. Let's just say that it's easier for me sometimes, one moment at a time, even. But I am grateful and I am content, and I want to say again, please, worrying, it's just not worth it. It just isn't. It steals time. It steals time away from your life, from your loved ones, and it also empties, when a car needs gas to run, right? And if you don't have gas, the car doesn't have gas in it, it's not going to go. And don't even talk to me about electric cars. I'm not talking about plugging something in there. But, you know, so you have to, fill yourself up with something. So let that be something good, something pure. Uh, get some kind of spirituality. For me, I get closer and closer to God. Jesus, the Blessed Mother. Those are the you know the things that help me. So I'm here to tell you, if you can, please try not to worry. Do your best, okay? Because it is not worth it. And get some time to yourself to reflect on your life, whether it be you go to the ocean, you go by a lake, you sit in a dark room, you go to a park, wherever it may be. You get on a bicycle, however you have to do it, just try to do it. And just, think about your life a little bit and open your heart up to the good Lord and just sit there, lay there on the grass, whatever it's going to be, and see if some of those answers will come. I know when I open my mind, my heart, and I open my mind, that's when I get those answers. I get those moments of clarity, and I'm like, oh, okay, I could do that. I can change that. And I know if I change that, I will feel a little bit better. And this transformation doesn't have to happen overnight. It doesn't have to be a big transformation. It could be a small one because it's progress, not perfection. Okay? So remember that. It's progress, not perfection. So if you are a person that needs to work on yourself, don't put that pressure on yourself that I have to change everything in 24 hours because that's not going to work. So remember, like I said, progress, not perfection. Do not beat yourself up. One thing at a time, one moment at a time, one day at a time. Take it slow. Easy does it. And good things will start to happen. Good things will start to happen. You got to flush all that bad stuff out of your life and bring in all the good stuff, all the positivity that you could possibly hold inside of you. And remember to pray for others, to help others, to be kind to others. because life is not easy. Life is not easy. And some people, they have it very, very hard. And have to remember, they always say, when we're feeling sorry for ourselves, that there's somebody out there who is worse off. And I believe that, and I know that to be true, actually. So I just wanted to let you know that I all care about you very much. And may God always bless you. May God always keep you and your family safe. And may you always, always strive to have peace of mind. And please try to get that through the good Lord up above. Talk to Him. Remember, I always say that, I know, but it does work. It does work. He does listen. So I hope you will take some time to do that and some time to reflect. And may God bless you all. Be safe and please be at peace.